Thank you very much, Mr. Joseph, and I must say you've been doing an excellent job as the host for these press briefings. I'm here again this morning in a different capacity to speak about the tourism industry. Let me just join with my minister and our staff, Mr. Piper and Mr. Valcoffey of DDA and Dominica Festivals Commission, in extending our condolences, our sympathies to those who have lost family, and particularly for the tourism sector. We know that majority of our stakeholders have been dealt a major blow. But again, to join with the Honorable Prime Minister and the Minister and staff of the Ministry of Tourism, we are here to support you, and we have been over the last few weeks communicating with our stakeholders. We have also been engaged in assessing our major tourism sites, working with our community tourism groups to determine the damage to community tourism sites. And also, we have been involved, because you are aware our ministry is not just the Ministry of Tourism, we are also the Ministry of Tourism and Urban Renewal. So the city of Roseau is our responsibility, and our ministry has been actively involved in the cleanup of the city of Roseau, and I will speak to that in a while. As it relates to our tourism sites, I would like to report that we've been working with the Ministry of Agriculture, and more specifically the Forestry Division, to assess some of our main sites. We have assessed over 30 of our tourism sites. That includes our main ecotourism sites, community tourism sites, and some of our coastal and marine resources. We will be able to share further details of the damage assessment with our stakeholders at a meeting on Friday. However, I can report that currently all of our tourism sites are officially closed. We have suffered extensive damage to the trails, to the sites, roads to sites, and some damage to the physical reception facilities. We have engaged a team of tour guides, and also we are working with the Ministry of Forestry, as I said earlier, to look at the extent of damage to the trails. In some cases, we have not been able to get to the actual site itself, but we've been able to walk some parts of the trail, and we've been able to assess all of the buildings, reception facilities around the island. Some of the damage that we have suffered has been to the access roads. So where we have only suffered damage to access roads, we'll be working with the Ministry of Public Works and the Ministry of Agriculture to clear those main roads. The road to the Trafalgar reception facility has already been cleared. However, the trail still remains to be cleared, and that we are working on with the Forestry Division. We have assessed the Monbrew site, Titu Gorge, Freshwater Lake, Emerald Pool facility, Wharton Waven, Sulphur Trails, the Trafalgar Falls facility and trail, Monbrew, where the Jacks Walk, the very famous Jacks Walk, Botanical Gardens, the Syndicate facility. We've also gotten reports on Salton Falls, Jacko Falls, Spani Falls, the Indian River, Midland Falls, and of course the old market and the museum are also part of our responsibility. We have also been in discussions with and have visited some other sites, to include Champagne Reef, which has suffered extensive damage to the entire facility and the area. However, we do plan to have a meeting with Mr. Clem Johnson on Monday, and we are going to do a follow-up site visit to discuss how we can move ahead with rehabilitation of the site. We have also been looking at some of our yachting facilities. So we have visited the Purple Turtle Beach area and spoken with Pays. We have also visited and assessed the Tukari jetty and the community tourism facility, which is at Tukari. We have visited Mero Beach, the Layu Beach, Kalibishi, and a few of the northeastern beaches as well. And we do know that we will see tourism making a comeback very soon. As I have said earlier, in terms of the way forward, during the next 2 weeks, the last few weeks we have been focused on site assessments and also liaising with and conducting assessments of our tourism properties. During the next few weeks, we are going to be focusing on cleanup and rehabilitation. So we have put a team in place. We are going to be moving around with the team from the Forestry Division and also a team of tour guides to create some sort of clearance to the site so that we can see what the exact damage is. We know that after Erica, some of our sites were altered, but they were all still beautiful. After Erica, there were some changes to the Trafalgar Falls, very major changes, but the Trafalgar Falls remained a very beautiful site. We do expect that it will continue to be a beautiful and a major site. However, we are going to see what we can do as it relates to access to the site. So this is what is critical for us in the short term: clearance of the main roads to the sites, clearance of the trails to the sites, and then we are going to work on repairing the reception facilities that are damaged. Some of our reception facilities, thankfully, have not been damaged. The Emerald Pool facility is actually intact, with the exception of a few areas like the Freshwater Lake reception facility. Most of our reception facilities are in a good condition, and it means that they are very resilient. Thank you very much, Minister, and that is really a plus for us in terms of being able to get our sites back and running, up and running very quickly. I would like to thank the staff of the Ministry of Tourism and the staff of DDA who have been on the field under adverse conditions, of course, to get to these sites and to be able to provide these reports to us to be able to share with you and with our stakeholders. I would also like to add that going forward, we have developed a strategy for the next 13 months, and the Discover Dominica Authority, through, of course, our marketing program, will be focusing on volunteer tourism, what we call voluntourism, and diaspora tourism. Currently, we are hosting hundreds of aid agencies and volunteer agencies in Dominica, and they are involved in various aspects of the relief and recovery process. Now, this is going to be a long-term recovery for us, and we do believe that over the next few months, we expect to receive additional visitors who will also be involved in the relief and recovery process. While all our services and amenities and access to our sites may not be available, we do want to urge our service providers and the general public to continue to provide excellent service to all our visitors who are here. So while it may seem that we have been dealt a blow in the tourism industry, we do have a number of visitors on island. We do expect many more visitors to come over the next few months while we are rebuilding and while we are recovering. So we would like to encourage our hoteliers who right now we thank for providing even the limited services that they have available. We know that you are providing these services to our visitors, to our volunteers, to the aid agencies under very adverse conditions, but you continue to do so. So we'd like to thank the Fort Young Hotel, Garaway, SeaWorld, who I know are hosting a number of the agencies that are here. We have a large team that has come from the World Bank and will be here for 2 weeks as well, conducting disaster assessments, and they are also being hosted here by some of our service providers. Of course, our restaurants and our taxi operators are continuing to provide these services, and we urge you to keep the service at an excellent level even while we rebuild the industry. From the Ministry of Tourism, I have said earlier that we are working with the Forestry Division to clear our access to our main sites. We are also going to, over the next 2 weeks, work with our stakeholders on some major plans for various aspects of the sector. I would like to provide some information on our stakeholder meetings that we'll be holding this week. So on Friday at 10 a.m., we'll be meeting with the Dominica Community Tourism Association, the Dominica Water Sports Association, the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association, along with the police, the Roseau City Council, and the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation on Friday at 10 a.m. at the Ministry of Housing Conference Room. Right after this at 12:30, we'll be hosting a meeting for the Tour Guide Association, vendors, and the combined taxi. We'll be meeting with the executives. We are not able to meet with the full group at this time, but we are meeting with the executives of these associations. So that'll be Friday at 12:30 tour guides, vendors, and combined taxi. Monday at 10, tour operators and the forestry division. And all these meetings will take place at the Ministry of Housing conference room. Now, these meetings are being planned with a view to provide further details on the assessments that we've done to date, and also to discuss our plans for rebuilding the tourism sector and getting feedback from our stakeholders at this meeting on the way forward. So again, I would really like to thank all of our stakeholders. I would like to thank our team at the Discover Dominica Authority and the Ministry of Tourism. We also would like to thank our Minister Robert Tong, for his leadership, and I would like to specially join the Minister in thanking the team of individuals who have been working on the roads to clean up Roseau. They have done an excellent job, Mr. Daryl Titt and the rest of the Roseau cleanup team, with the additional laborers that we have hired during this time post Maria. They have been doing a good job pre-Maria in keeping the city clean, and even after this disaster, if you had been to Roseau a day after Maria and you have been to Roseau 25 days after Maria, how many days? Close to 30 days. It's almost 30 days. It is a remarkable change in terms of what we've been able to accomplish. Some of them are, some people are volunteers, others have been cleaning up in front of their homes, their businesses, their areas. But we just want to thank everybody who has been working to get Dominica back to a state of normalcy, and also to rebuild the tourism sector. It is going to be a long road to recovery, but we do expect, as Mr. Piper just said, that by January we can see some more concrete results, and we will continue these press briefings with you to give you further updates on what we are doing in the tourism industry. So you may not have heard us for a little while, but we are here and we have been working, and from today we'll continue to update you as often as we can on what we are doing to rebuild the sector. Thank you very much.